What's rocking, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of my 1860 Munich career mode. Sorry for the long waits. Just is difficult sometimes to record these. I'm so focused on the player growth test, but get this episode out for you guys. So we do have a couple players leaving on those free transfers, but also one of our backup right backs is requesting to leave, and of course we'll sell him off. We do want, as much funds as possible because we're trying to build for the future as well as for the present with some transfers. We'll see what we can do, but most of the transfers I'm going to be looking at players, that will be great for the future once we do get promoted, because we're not even guaranteed, to possibly, get promoted this season. We're kind of mid-table hanging around there, so we can at least use the next an extra year to rebuild our side, continue to grow and improve for when we do get promoted eventually. But Paslak is going to be, pretty cheap, and of course he has a lot of potential to be a great player for us. Now it's only $550,000 or so dollars for him, and pretty cheap wages as well. Give him just a little bit more and have him be a squad rotation player for us. May play it occasionally, but I'm not even sure he's going to make the bench, to be honest. But we're going to be taking a look at Bradford Jamieson, the fourth for us at 62 overall. Really solid player, so I think he's going to be a good signing for our side. Now Cesar Montes, a very good young Mexican player. I think he can slot in right away for us at center back and continue to improve and turn to a quality player. Now Bradford Jamieson, give him a little bit more money, and I think he's going to actually play quite a bit for us. So we'll see how that goes. But again, Paslak is going to be more for the future. I kind of want to see how he grows without training at the end of the season. Then I think we'll assess and maybe start using a little bit more training on him. But all depends really, as you can see, is putting in this offer to Cesar Montes. I do think he can play right away, might even start. We'll have to see though what happens, in all honesty. So had some other offers, some other players. You can see $550,000 is really a big steal for this player, who's of course a Road to Glory gem. So we're gonna accept that offer and move on. And now we're gonna have Cesar Montes here with that. He did want a little bit a bigger squad role, basically, so actually have him be an important first team player. And you might actually have that role again, like I said, like 3 times. But Bradford Jamieson's offer is now going to be accepted, so that's good to see. With his pace, we can just train him right away. He has good physical stats, so we just go right away to training him, so he can be a better striker and improve as quick as possible. Now you can see I had to put another offer, I think it was for him, but either way, looks good. So we're gonna sell another player here, Rodney, 30-year-old center back. He's just really just not good enough for us. He got destroyed in like the one game he played. He's just not quick enough. Unfortunately, he was getting just really beaten up in the back line for us. Now accept that offer, Cesar Montes. Great job bringing him in. Another good young player, German here, Melvin Lorenzen, 21-year-old striker. We put in that offer for him. I'm also going to take a look at Carl Metz. He's going to give us a lot of depth here. He can play in the midfield as well as a center back right away. I really kind of want to target some of these players who play in these types of leagues as well. I think it's pretty realistic. I want to keep this as realistic as possible, but I still want to try to bring in some players as well that maybe, not be extremely realistic, but will be able to contribute for us at the least. Melvin Lorenzen here putting in that offer, and that is great to see that he will looks like he'll be playing for us now. Carl Metz, so they put in this inquiry, they said 1.3, but we're going to try to get 1 mil for him. And he's a bit more expensive, but he's going to be able to play as a midfielder in the center back. So he's going to give us depth. He's basically like having 2 players, I guess. So we're going to have that, just such a steal for Melvin Lorenzen at that price. I did have to offer a little bit more eventually, I think, for him. The wages are a bit higher compared to the other players we had to take a look at. So it's a bit unfortunate, but we still have made a lot of good signings for us, and now we're going to be afforded some more money here. It looks like Stefan Mugosa, I've actually increased his value through training him, starting to get some more money through him, which is good to see. His finishing is just terrible, unfortunately. His ball control isn't that great either. He has some decent pace, but I just can't see him contributing for us when we have some better options, that were Jamieson and Lorenzen barely surpassed, that offer combined. I also had to put in some offers for contracts for other players. Mugosa will be leaving the club, so that actually hurt our funds a little bit, but thankfully Rama came in and saved us, so I can afford to renew some contracts as well as bring in all the players that I was taking a look at. But now we'll take a look at this, the youth squad. Just kind of flip through it a bit. I really hope we can try to build through the youth squad a bit, but we didn't get the best of luck maybe be with our Scout of Future star, but some of these guys could contribute. This guy looks like he could be a nice rotational midfielder for us eventually. Some decent physical stats for young players, so we'll see who else can end up contributing, but some pace there, decent physicals, and you can see this left mid, not too bad. We can certainly train that agility as well, so see how some of these guys continue to develop. Jaewon Kim, 72-80, the physical stats aren't the best, but we'll see how he continues to look. 73-81 for this guy here. I think he's a CDM, pretty good physicals. I mean, his pace, but strength could be a little bit higher. Luis Sanchez is our Scout of Future star. I mean, he has some decent stats, but he just doesn't look like a star, and that's unfortunate. But he has interesting stats. I'm not sure where he's actually going to fit in for our side eventually once we can sign him. And you can see another player here, some other guys. Left back doesn't look too bad, looks physically strong, which is good. He could be a good rotational player, as well as this guy here, Wallen Ruther and Afsa. Doesn't look too bad with his pace. And some of these other players you can see as well who weren't the best, probably just going to release them from the youth squad eventually as we continue to look at them a bit more. But take a look at the squad report now. Of course, we brought in tons of players. Ortega has improved. I've been using training because his handling is so low, and we need that handling to be a lot better for him to improve. You can see Kyle Master has not moved up, and Cesar Montez, I'm going to play him at center back right away in that next game, guys. So we'll see his steps, and his stats are tremendous. Schindler improved by a point. You can see he's a very solid center back in VTech. I've not used any training on him, and he has improved physically and technically, mentally. Same with On Lung. You see Lindo here, of course, older player, but still very solid. Stahl has improved quite a bit as well, and that is good to see for all these players to improve without training. Except for Wolf, I use a lot of training for him. Trying to improve his finishing, as well as ball control, dribbling, as well as Hein. No training for him, but a lot of improvement. Same with Okoti. So it's great to see. It's interesting to see this type of improvement from these players without training. Metz, you can see very strong player, good jumping. I'm gonna probably start to just train up his defensive stats so that we can start to slot him at center back eventually, maybe. And Mulik here as at 64. I've just been training the hell out of him, in all honesty. He's a big man, he's a beast. We might end up using him a little bit more next season when we have the cup matches and the like. Bradford Jameson, of course, as I said, all that pace. We just have to train his beat with the Beat Your Manager and the like. I think with Lorenzen, I can just go right away to training with the Beat Your Manager as well. His agility up, and you can see some other players here. Clausen has been in great form, but we'll see. I might keep him at right back. It's going to be interesting with him and Montez and Kagamasher there. I think, we could have an interesting battle. Deg Janek, I have not trained him at all, but his growth has been incredible. I think he'd be another player who could play like a center back, and as well be a good rotational midfielder for us. But we'll see how he continues to grow. Of course, Pastlak, great pace. I'm thinking about maybe we could just go right away to training him, but I'll see what you guys think and the like. We'll apply that eventually to the training feature, of course. And the new Decker, Bandowski, not looking too bad. Bandowski's grown quite a bit, a lot of pace to him. So the least he'll be a rotational player. We could sell him off like I plan to do with Netolitsky. I train him a lot because I do want to try to get some money for him. And Folman, I've trained quite a bit. He's a very solid player. I think he's going to be able to contribute for us. And whether it be this season, maybe not this season, but the next one, I think he can play for us quite a bit and be a good player as we have a little bit more match congestion maybe. But you'll see that's the squad report though, so we'll get into we'll just take a quick look. We're going to play all of February in the next episode basically. I just flipped through for no reason, but I'm playing all of February. It's 5 matches, so we'll have that in the next episode, guys. You can see here all those fixtures coming up, so we really want to try to push forward. As you can see in the table, sitting there at 8th place, not too far off of the promotion relegation playoff. We have to just try to continue to stay in, at least 10 points behind that spot, so you can at least have, a chance in a magical run to get to that area. But it's going to be very interesting, guys. I hope we can end up getting promoted in this season. But if not, I think, the extra season in the second division could help us develop our team and, bring in some other players eventually and continue to use the training and the like to get our squad up to the liking and, compete right away once we do hit the Bundesliga. But with that, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll be signing out now. I apologize for the long waits. I'll try to post more frequently. I am recording in ahead quite a bit so that I can post a bit more of this series. But with that, again, thanks for tuning in. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.